This is The Psychology of Spirit with AuKeeRa Rayne. You are invited to add your voice to our program by phone or email. Our toll-free number in North America is 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. The email address is AuKeeRa@sasktel.net. That's AuKeeRa@sasktel.net. Now, back to The Psychology of Spirit.
So looking at the way family evolves is very important. Understanding to respect your children as they become adults and not rely on them. I will also tell you children not to rely on your parents. As soon as you are 18, it is up to you to go out and find your way through this world. And trust me, it wasn't easy for any of us. We might have made it look easy. But we found people to communicate to find our way through. This life does seem to be a very lonely existence. But lonely is not truly what it is. Yes, we truly exist alone. No one in this world will ever know us. They will never know the totality of our experience. They will never know why we feel the way we do, why we think the way we do, and that mosaic of experiences that created who we are. No one will ever know all of this about us because it's our gift. But that doesn't mean we are lonely. Alone, yes, but that means I'm with myself. Communication starts with me first. Journaling is a great tool. Yes, it is. When I'm walking through this world and I want to learn how to say something to somebody, yes, it's going to take me time to think about it. Most of us communicate through our egos, and we all know what that looks like. That's when the sandbox comes out. That's when we're going to throw down our toys and go home. Problem is that doesn't bring us to where we wanted to be. That doesn't bring us to the solution we wanted. So it is worth taking the time to ask yourself first, as soon as you feel the zing of pain from somebody, the sting of certain words or certain thoughts, sit down with paper and pen and write about it. And then ask yourself, what's your best solution? Sometimes your solution is staying away from that person for a while. But notice it's not going and tell that person, you made me feel this way. When we walk up and say, you made me feel this way, now we're both going to feel bad. However, we can act according to solutions immediately. If somebody does not like you just because of who you are, that is their right. But it doesn't mean that you now have to decide to dislike them. You can downright hate somebody and still love and respect them for being a human being. You can do both. And allowing that ability within your emotions to flow allows you to communicate better without feeling threatened. If we try and communicate under the feeling of judgment, we tend to ramble. And believe me, everybody judges everybody. I've spoken about that before. But the thing is, I'm going to communicate about myself and only me, without thinking that you need to fix me. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I will communicate solutions to the best of my ability in work and in relationships. My solutions won't always be right, but I will do my best to find out what might work for me. I will advocate for myself what I need. I will learn that I cannot tell others what to do, and I cannot make others responsible for my emotions. I will remember that if I want to be heard, I need to listen to me. I also need to learn that I can say no. Another really good word for that is not at this time. When I say no to you, it doesn't mean no to you as a person. It just means I'm not able to right now. I will learn not to assume. what other people are saying and the meanings behind it. Assumption's a dangerous thing. Work very hard not to assume why people say or do certain things. You can ask a person from time to time, I don't understand, can you explain this to me? But don't do it in the way of judgment. As you can see, communication's not an easy thing. No wonder we walk around not knowing what to say to each other. But if we speak from our truth, and not from our ego, communication comes a lot easier. When we talk to somebody who loves us and they say, how are you doing? And you say, I'm having a really bad day. But you say it in that tone of voice I just said it to you with. It allows you to know that they're not responsible for that. But when people out on the street say, how are you doing? Trust me, they're really not interested in the bad day, what's going on in your life, or anything else. They just want to go back to chit-chat. So when anybody asks you, how are you doing? I'm doing just fine. Because it's all relative, right? Even if my world's falling apart around me, you're not the person I need to share that with right now. I need to stay focused on what I'm doing if I'm at work. And if I'm on the street, I really just wanted to say hi. The first person you need to communicate is with you. Once you learn to listen to you, you will automatically learn how to listen to others. The ego will always claim, I am not heard. But if you are listening, you can say, but I hear you. I'm here for you. As we work with communication outward, we have to learn to ask for help when we need it from those that we truly trust. We have to learn to be okay with who we are and not make other people responsible for our emotions. We have to learn not to fight. You can't have a fight when only one person's fighting. Fighting solves nothing. And we're all not 2 or 12. We all have the ability to ask, to talk, to listen. It just takes time. And you know what? Sometimes it may come out wrong. It doesn't matter. But don't jump on the other person for trying. A lot of us don't begin to speak because we're scared we'll say the wrong thing. And that's why I say take your time. Journal about it first. Make sure it feels right to you. A lot of times the things that we want to say to other people are best just written in a journal and never spoken of again because it's us needing to vent. Always communicate with an air of respect. It doesn't have to be with aggression. You can be angry and just say, I'm feeling really angry. You don't have to yell. Why do you never listen to me? Something we often say to our children. You need to take a step back and remember, their lives are minute to minute to minute to minute. And trust me, I forget it too, and I've said the same words. Why aren't you listening? We're all just human here doing the best that we can. But human is pretty darn incredible. And if you take the time to listen to you, if you take the time to actually think about the words you want to say, if you think about solutions that will work for you to make your life a beautiful place to be, I guarantee you'll be able to communicate them appropriately to those people that you need to. When we work for our own solutions, our path opens up. A lot of times people say, well, I have to run it by my spouse first. The thing is if you think you want to do something and you just lop it out to your spouse with absolutely no groundwork done, it's a pretty scary thing. However, if you present it to your spouse and you say, okay, I've looked at this and this and this, these are my pros and cons, and this is what I can offer, then you give yourself a broader place to be. Communication is going to be what you make it, and you are capable. So start with you first. I look forward to meeting you next week here again. Till then, take care. This is AuKeeRa Rayne.
Thank you for being with us on The Psychology of Spirit with your host, AuKeeRa Rayne. We hope you've enjoyed today's program and will return to us next Monday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern Time and 2 p.m. Pacific Time on Seventh Wave Network. Remember, life is not meant to be an uphill climb. It's just life.